You know what's interesting? Every single week, the same 5 or 6 penny stocks get passed around on social media. Same names, same charts, same screenshots. And by the time you see them trending, the easy money's already been made by whoever found them first. So today, I'm doing something different. 3 real companies, all trading under $5, and I can tell you right now, you have not seen these covered to death on every other finance channel this month. Stick with me, because the third one has a partnership with one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies on the planet, and almost nobody's talking about it. Quick disclaimer before we start. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is for educational purposes only, based on public filings and company announcements. Do your own research before you make any decisions with your money. Now, let's get into it. Quick disclaimer before we start. I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Everything I'm sharing is for educational purposes only, based on public filings and company announcements. Do your own research before you make any decisions with your money. Now, let's get into it. Let's start with stock number 1, and I want you to picture something for a second. Out in the ocean there are buoys, not the simple kind that just bob around marking a channel. I'm talking about autonomous, solar and wave-powered systems that watch the water, around the clock, without a human anywhere near them. That's the entire business of this first company. They build something called the Power Buoy, a self-powered platform that generates its own electricity from ocean waves, and uses that power to run sensors, cameras, and communication equipment for months at a time without needing a single battery swap. They also build an autonomous surface vessel called the WAM-V, which can patrol coastlines and gather data without a crew on board. Who's buying this? The US Coast Guard, for one. They've placed multiple purchase orders this year alone, real contracts, not press release fluff, for buoy systems used in maritime domain awareness. The company also just raised $10 million through a stock offering to fund expansion, and their backlog has grown sharply over the past few quarters, as government and defense interest in unmanned ocean monitoring keeps increasing. Here's the part that stopped me. Annual revenue came in just under $6 million last year, which sounds tiny, and is tiny. This is a true microcap, but the stock trades right around 28 to 34 cents as of this recording. The analyst price target sitting out there right now is $1.50. Do the math on that gap. The company is Ocean Power Technologies, ticker symbol OPTT, trading on NYSE American. Now let's move to something completely different. Stock number 2 takes us into cancer treatment, specifically a type of therapy most people have never heard of, called targeted alpha therapy. Here's the simple version. Most radiation treatments for cancer use particles that travel a long way through tissue, which means they damage healthy cells along with the cancer. Alpha particles are different. They release an enormous amount of energy, but only travel the width of a few cells. That means, in theory, you can hit a tumor incredibly hard while sparing the healthy tissue right next to it. This company is built entirely around that idea. They've got 2 lead programs in active clinical trials right now. One targets neuroendocrine tumors, a type of cancer that's notoriously hard to treat once it spreads. The other targets a specific kind of metastatic melanoma. But here's the headline that really caught my attention. They have an active clinical collaboration with Bristol Myers Squibb, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies in the world, to test their therapy in combination with an existing approved cancer drug. When a company this size gets a major pharma partner willing to co-develop a trial, that's not nothing. That's external validation from people who have access to data most of us will never see. The stock currently sits in the $3.70 to $4.30 range. Analyst price targets average out above $12, with some going as high as $12.60. The company is Perspective Therapeutics, ticker symbol CATX, trading on NYSE American. Now for stock number 3, and this is the one I mentioned at the very start. This company is in the business of editing RNA, not DNA, RNA, to correct genetic diseases at the source rather than just managing symptoms. Their core technology is called Axiomer, and it's designed to fix faulty genetic instructions inside cells, using a different mechanism than most gene therapy companies out there. Here's what's notable. This company has a research and collaboration agreement with Eli Lilly, one of the largest pharmaceutical companies on Earth, focused on developing new medicines for genetic disorders affecting the liver and nervous system. And just recently, they reported positive phase 1 data for their lead candidate, which the company is calling the first clinical validation of their entire RNA editing platform. That's a big deal for a company this size. It's proof their core technology actually works in real patients, not just in a lab. The stock is currently trading right around $1.80 to $1.90. The average analyst price target sits between $6.67 and $8.33 depending on which firm you look at. Some of the highest upside percentages of any name on this list. The company is ProQR Therapeutics, ticker symbol PRQR, trading on NASDAQ. So here's the full picture. One company building autonomous ocean defense technology with real Coast Guard contracts. One company using a completely different approach to fighting cancer, backed by a partnership with Bristol Myers Squibb. And one company editing RNA with Eli Lilly as a research partner. 3 completely different sectors, 3 completely different stories, and all 3 sitting under $5 a share. Now let's talk about the risks, honestly, because I'm not going to pretend these are safe bets. Ocean Power Technologies is a true microcap with under $6 million in annual revenue. That's an extremely small business, and it depends heavily on continued government contract wins to keep growing. If those contracts slow down, this stock has very little else propping it up. Perspective Therapeutics is still a clinical stage biotech, which means none of their treatments are approved yet. Clinical trials fail far more often than they succeed, and a single bad trial readout could crush the stock overnight. And ProQR Therapeutics, despite the positive Phase 1 data, is still early. Phase 1 success does not guarantee Phase 2 or Phase 3 success, and biotech companies at this stage typically need to keep raising cash, which can dilute existing shareholders. These are speculative, high-risk stocks. None of them are guaranteed winners. Read the SEC filings yourself. Look at the cash position, the burn rate, the upcoming catalysts. Never put in money you can't afford to lose completely. So that's 3 names you probably haven't seen plastered across every finance channel this week. A maritime defense microcap, a targeted cancer therapy company partnered with Bristol Myers Squibb, and an RNA editing biotech backed by Eli Lilly. All verified, all real, all under $5 as of today. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. Nothing here is financial advice. These are high-risk, speculative stocks, and you could lose your entire investment. Always consult a licensed financial advisor before making any investment decisions. If this kind of deep dive research is useful to you, hit subscribe, drop a like, and let me know in the comments which of these 3 you're going to look into further. We do this every single day, new names, real numbers, no recycled stock picks.